Good Thursday afternoon to you here from Joe Braun Field. Glad to have you along here on Radio Plus Video Sports. A gorgeous 82-degree spring afternoon, summer afternoon, I suppose, here in Fond du Lac, and we got a good one for you on tap this afternoon. This is the Right Way Home Improvement pregame show, getting you set for number 12 Menasha, the Blue Jays, here in regional final action on the road, taking on number 4 Fondy. And Menasha upset-minded already. They got the win back on Tuesday, 8-6 on the road at number 5 Slinger. Meanwhile, Fondy back on Tuesday. You saw it right here on Radio Video Plus Sports. 15-0, the run rule win in 5 innings against FVA opponent Oshkosh North. Menasha, as we mentioned, the 12 seed, 7-16 on the season, 4-10 in conference play. They play in a very difficult Bay Conference up in the northeastern part of the state, and that conference is just absolutely brutal. Teams like Seymour and Xavier and Fox Valley Lutheran, the top teams in that conference. And make no mistake about it, Menasha comes into the postseason battle-tested, and they showcased that very, very acutely on Tuesday with that 8-6 upset of Slinger. And for Fondy, 18-8 now on the season, including that win on Tuesday in the regional semifinal. They finished tied for third in the FVA with a 12-6 record. And the FVA today, this afternoon, in fact, released their all-conference awards, and we'll give you the all-conference winners from Fond du Lac. And they had 3 unanimous first-teamers, 3 second-teamers, and an honorable mention, all in their starting lineup. When we give you the starting lineups, we'll tell you about those players that were first, second, and third team, or honorable mention, as it were, in the FVA this season for the Cardinals. This is the Right Way Home Improvement pregame show. We'll take a timeout. As we do, we'll send it to our Lenz Truck Center Athlete of the Week, and that's brought to you each week by our friends over at Lenz Truck.
Congratulations to Laconia pitcher Lily Schultz. She recently surpassed 500 career strikeouts.
Lily Schultz was close to that milestone. She'll get a strikeout. We will get a timeout here as they honor Lily Schultz. We'll stay here as we watch it. We'll head to the big cam. And we'll get the announcement here. The banner's been made. 500 career strikeouts for Lily Schultz.
500 strikeouts. Congratulations, Lily, on this milestone.
I think she's more ready just to get right back in and pitch this thing.
Talk to me, Lily, just what it's been to pitch for this Spartans team.
I've been pitching since I was 9 years old, so it's definitely great to finally hit a accomplishment, a reward of pitching, and I love pitching for this team because I know my defense has my back, and offense, because even if I give up some runs, I know they'll be able to hit the ball. So, yeah.
Talk to me real quick about Lily getting her 500th career strikeout. What does that mean for her and your pitching staff as a whole this season?
Yeah, I mean, that's so cool to see a kid celebrate that. I mean, 500 strikeouts, that's a big deal. Hit it her junior year. I mean, that's awesome. So I'm proud of Lily. She works hard, always improving, and always ready to play.
Lily Schultz from Laconia is our Student Athlete of the Week this week from Radio Plus Video Sports in partnership with Jeff's Live Streams and, of course, our presenting sponsor, Lenz Truck Center.
We got the trucks at Lenz Truck.
Cleaning your gutters is a pain, but ignoring them could ruin the value of your home. Gutter Helmet is the solution. Choose the perfect color to blend with your home, and our certified technicians will install Gutter Helmet in less than a day. Call Gutter Helmet today to never clean your gutters again.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Let's Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Today's game is brought to you by Edward Jones and these area Edward Jones financial advisors. Robert Bruce, located at 68 North Main Street. Patrick Ellistad, located at 560 Fond du Lac Avenue. Jeff Wills, located at 649 Fond du Lac Avenue. And Matt Helmer, located at 649 Fond du Lac Avenue. Good luck to all athletes in today's game. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
At Radio Plus, we're proud to bring you stream team coverage of local sporting events. Our team is dedicated to providing live coverage from across Wisconsin, supporting the local teams and communities we know and love. What began as a one-person operation with play-by-play on radio has grown into a 5 or 6-person production. Keeping pace with the latest technology, equipment, and personnel is not only demanding, but costly. If you'd like to support this broadcast as a sponsor or a donor in any way, please scan the QR code on the screen.
We're back here on the Right Way Home Improvement pregame show, getting you set for Menasha and Fondy baseball. Let's meet the Silica for your home starting lineup, starting with the visiting Blue Jays. Leading off and playing center field, number 10, Kinley Bilkey. Batting second and playing first, number 32, Tommy Shuey. In the 3 spot, the third baseman, number 22, Jacob Koopman. Cleanup hitter and pitching today for Menasha, number 11, Paul Schmolinski, Batting fifth, and the designated hitter, number 24, Jack Olszewski. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 7, Dylan Wood. In the 7th spot, it's the catcher, number 9, Pierce Denies. Batting eighth, playing second, number 17, Zach Dietering. And rounding out their batting order, in right field, number 13, Ethan Olszewski. The defensive replacement for the designated hitter, Jack Olszewski, is number 21, Mason Schultz. Starters for Fondy, their leadoff batter is number 16, center fielder, first-team unanimous all-conference selection, Keaton Killian. In the 2-hole, Grant Godursky, the shortstop, an honorable mention pick in the FVA. He wears number 17. Batting third, the catcher, number 2, and FVA Player of the Year, as announced this afternoon, Jack Brenner. In the cleanup spot, second baseman, number 4, a second-teamer, Hudson Berg. Zach Zengel is in the 5-hole. He plays third, wears number 3. He was also a unanimous first-team pick in the FVA. Batting sixth and wearing number 10, the designated hitter, Bryson Patton. Logan Bondlander is in the 7-hole. He wears number 7, first baseman. He was also a second-team All-FVA pick. In the 8-hole, Gavin Supernand, right fielder, number 11. And then rounding out the lineup, Espen Kettlehut wears number 15 and plays left for the Cardinals. On the bump, second-team All-FVA pitcher, number 0, Noah Ditter. And for Fondy to get through the first round of the playoffs without having to expend Noah Ditter, that's obviously a benefit for them. As for the Blue Jays starting pitcher, Paul Schmolinski, he did pitch an inning through 13 pitches, 15 pitches against Slingers, so no restriction on him, but did have to pitch earlier this week on Tuesday, the final frame, to get the save for Menasha in that game against Slinger. And looking back at some of the stats from that Slinger-Menasha game, it was you can't mince any words. It was a pretty ugly game. Menasha committed 7 errors, and Slinger committed 6 errors. Weren't many runs that were scored that were earned by either team, but hey, Menasha, they don't mind that one bit. They say at the end of the day, our tally said 8, Slingers said 6, and they move on here today to take on Fondy, and they'll try to keep the upset train rolling here on the road. As for Fondy, we told you about that 15-0 win against Oshkosh North. Every single batter in the starting lineup crossed home plate at least one time. Obviously, Brenner, Godursky were the catalysts of that, or the leaders in that regard back on Tuesday. It was 4 runs scored for Brenner and 3 for Godursky. So between those two, 7 of the 15 in terms of runs scored back in the regional semifinal. Teams coaches and the umpires are meeting at home plate, discussing the ground rules here at Joe Braun Field, and we're just about set to get things going in the regional championship. Winner will move on to play at Manitowoc Lincoln next Tuesday. Winner will play at 10 o'clock against the winner of Germantown and Manitowoc Lincoln, who's the 8th seed. Germantown is 26-0 this year, so it'd be a tough task, but hey, you take your chances in a sectional semifinal, that's for sure. The 1 p.m. game next Tuesday will feature the winner of number 3 Nina and number 6 Hartford this afternoon, and then number 7 Homestead, who is at number 2 West Bend West. So everything else went to chalk. Top seeds won everywhere except for Menasha taking down Slinger back on Tuesday. That's what Sectional 4 looks like here in Division 1. This is the Right Way Home Improvement pregame show, and this was the Silica For Your Home starting lineups. We'll take another timeout, and we'll see our Lens Truck Center play of the game here on Radio Plus.
Each and every week, Lens Truck Center, Radio Plus Video Sports in partnership with Jeff's live streams, salute a great play of the game. This Fondy play of the game took the lead over Appleton West in the regular season finale in Fondy.
This one is grounded to short, double play ball, throw to home. It'll be not in time. Fond du Lac will take the lead. And you almost think that the shortstop there should have gone to second and tried to gone for the double play there. I mean, there was a little bit of a bobble, but I think the decision to come home was the wrong one. And Fondy will take the lead here 4-3 with a 3-run bottom of the 6th.
Again, that's a look at our play of the game from Lens Truck Center, Radio Plus Video Sports in partnership with Jeff's live streams.
We got the trucks at Lens Truck.
There you go. That's your Lens Truck Center play of the game from this past week. They'll meet the starters here at Joe Braun Field, and we'll just remind you of them by name and position here. Kinley Bilkey, center field. Tommy Shuey, first base. Jacob Koopman, third base. Paul Schmolinski, pitching. Jack Olszewski, the DH. Dylan Wood, shortstop. Pierce denies, catcher. Zach Dietering, second base, and Ethan Olszewski, right field. Mason Schultz, the defensive replacement, out in left. For Fondy, Keaton Killian, center field. Grant Godursky, shortstop. Jack Brenner, catcher. Hudson Berg, second base. Zach Zangel, third base. Bryson Patton, DH. Logan Bonlander, first base. Gavin Supernan, right field. And Espen Kettlehut out in left. The pitcher is Noah Ditter. And once again, if you're just joining us, the FVA announced via Bound Sports Wisconsin this afternoon the FVA all-conference teams. First team unanimous picks, Keaton Killian out in center, Jack Brenner, the player of the year in the conference, at catcher, and Zach Zangel at third. Second teamers, Hudson Berg at second base, Logan Bonlander at first base, and Noah Ditter, one of the second team pitchers. And then Grant Godursky was an honorable mention shortstop. So those are the all-conference awards that were collected by the Fondy Cardinals. A pretty robust all-conference, I would say. I mean, you look at their batting order. 6 of the 9 are all-conference players, and then their starting pitcher also an all-conference player. So that just tells you the strength of Fondy this year. That's why they finished tied for third. That's why they're a 4 seed.
At Musa Sheet Metal, they spend generations building a better everyday life. They don't just build panels, they build a legacy. They're growing, innovating, and pushing the limits again with their brand new 24-gauge stocked steel line. Musa colors created by the Musa team, 25 bold choices ready to go, delivering the best solutions in architectural sheet metal. Say hi to the Musa apprentices. They're your neighbors, your classmates, and the future of the industry. Musa Sheet Metal, revolutionizing steel, building the future.
Your dream space starts with quartz countertops from Quest Interiors. Whether it's your kitchen, bathroom, mudroom, or even a closet island, we custom fabricate one-of-a-kind surfaces that elevate every room. And the best part? We install many in as little as 1 week, quickly turning your vision into reality. Visit our showrooms in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Quest Interiors, exceptional style, exceptional savings.
right, whatever it takes.
AirTech delivers whatever it takes service to take care of you. Bryant and AirTech Heating of Fond du Lac.
Back here closing out the Right Way Home Improvement pregame show, and we're just about ready for first pitch between number 12 Menasha and number 4 Fond du Lac. You know, mention that Slinger Menasha game, and again, just from not having gotten to watch the game and just looking at the box score, an ugly game with all the errors, 13 errors combined, but Menasha had 8 hits. All of them were single base hits, but almost everyone in the lineup collected a hit, and 8 of the 9 batters reached base against Slinger. So they had traffic on all afternoon long. Some of that due to Slinger's, sloppy defense. Menasha also played sloppy defense, but if you're a double-digit seed, and we said this about, not that Fondy's girls softball team was a double-digit seed, but if you're a lower seed going and you're going to try to upset someone, you got to be pesky at the plate, and you got to force the opponent into errors. And I think that was the case with Fondy softball earlier in the playoffs when they put runners all over the bases against Kimberly last week. Just weren't able to collect that big hit. That was the case for Menasha against Slinger. They had runners all over the place against Menasha did against Slinger back on Tuesday. It's part of the reason they were able to get the win. You put the ball in play, you make teams play defense, good things will happen more times than not. And so for Fondy, one of the keys, I think, today, play a clean game. I think if Fondy finds a way to play error-free or close to error-free, Fondy's going to be in a good place when we're talking a couple hours from now. Once again, Noah Ditter on the mound. Didn't have to pitch yesterday. Hudson Berg did a terrific job on the mound when he had to. Obviously didn't have to go very far into that game on Tuesday either, with Fondy piling it on in that second inning, a 7-run second inning that gave them a double-digit lead going into the third. We're ready, and Ditter straight from the stretch fires it in there, and that is ball number 1. Just off the inside part of the plate to Kinley Bilkey, the center fielder, who was 1 for 4. That's clipping the outside part of the plate, and it's 1-1. Bilkey 1 for 4, had an RBI, also scored against Slinger back on Tuesday. Here on the left side of the plate, and Ditter is going to step off and recollect. Here, the leadoff batter, and Fondy found itself in a little bit of a pickle. That's a great off-speed pitch in the dirt, and Bilkey way out in front had him fooled, and it's 1-2. Oshkosh North loaded the bases with just 1 out back on Tuesday, and from that point on, it was all Fondy. That one chopped foul down the right field line. But you just wondered when the way Oshkosh North came out, that's playoff baseball. I mean, these teams scrapping and clawing and fighting, and that's what you get from. That's why you got to come to play. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. That's the case here again this afternoon against Menasha. So Bilkey waits for the 1-2. Ditter comes set, inside part of the plate, another foul ball. And again, this is, if you listen to our broadcast of Fondy softball and you've listened to our broadcast of Fondy baseball, I sound like a broken record, but this is what you got to do. You got to battle in there, and that's what we're seeing Bilkey do. This one ripped down the right field line, and a nice play over at first by Logan Bonlander, and the second team all-conference selection takes it to first for the first out. That brings up Tommy Shuey, the first baseman. As I mentioned, Menasha finished second last in the Bay Conference, a conference that, like the FVA, is just absolutely loaded with talent. That one's on the outside part of the plate and just off, so it's 1-0. Ditter comes set, and this time fired one in there, and it was fought off, fouled straight back by Shuey. couple of those Bay teams met yesterday. Here's the 1-1. That one's in there for strike number 2. Another off-speed pitch for the second strike. But Xavier took down Seymour last night in Division II. I only paying attention to that because that was the upper part of the bracket that Waupun is in, one of the area teams. That one fouled straight back, and it stays 1-2. But, yeah, fourth-seeded Xavier took out top-seeded Seymour. Those two teams finished 1-2 in the Bay Conference. Here's the 1-2. This one lined out to short, right at the shortstop, Grant Godursky, who makes the play. So a good start here for Ditter on the bump. And he's got a couple of outs here in the first. Nothing like settling into a ball game if you can go 1-2-3 in the first. And Jacob Koopman, the left-handed hitting third baseman, steps in and swings right through the first pitch. Ditter pounding the strike zone here early. That one's going to be outside and 1-1. That's what you got to do. Walks and errors, that can really kill you if you're a higher seed. I mean, kill you if you're any type of seed, but if you're going to give hope to a team that is maybe a little bit overmatched, at least on paper, that one's low, and it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1. That one's in there. Chopped back to the pitcher. Ditter collects, throws over to first, and that's the side in the first. Excellent first inning for Fond du Lac. They set down Menasha 1-2-3. We go to the bottom, scoreless.
It's the dawn of a new day for Dr. Kathy Doyle Kelly and Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry.
I'm Dr. Dylan Fogel, and I'm now the new owner of Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry. I'm truly honored to carry forward the tradition of personalized care you've come to know and trust. You'll still see Dr. Kathy and all the familiar faces who make this office feel like home. At Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry, we promise to do everything we can to keep you smiling before, after, and even during your appointment.
Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry will be changing its name to Fogel Family Dentistry in 2026. Find Dr. Dylan Fogel on Fond du Lac Avenue in Fond du Lac.
But here at Joe Braun Field, glad to have you along. Fondy sets down Menasha 1-2-3 to start the first. The Cardinal order will face Paul Schmalinski. He pitched 18 pitches over 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, struck out 2 against Slinger back on Tuesday. 4 pitchers threw for Menasha. Jacob Koopman got the start, went 4 2/3. He threw 103 pitches in 4 2/3. Gave up 2 runs. 1 of them was earned. Only 4 hits he gave up, struck out 6. Won't see him today. Zach Dietering only threw 35 pitches, so he would be available for Menasha. And then Kinley Bilkey threw 6 pitches. He faced 1 batter, so he would be available for Menasha should the Cards chase Paul Schmalinski. Keaton Killian, unanimous first-team all-conference center fielder, leads things off for Fondy, and he bunts it right between the pitcher and third. Good play out at the mound by Paul Schmalinski to get the fleet of foot Keaton Killian, and it's 1-3 put out to start things after just 1 pitch for Menasha. That'll bring up Grant Godursky. The shortstop for the Cards, and he watches a strike go just at the bottom of the letters, and it's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. This one blooped out to right center. Will it stay up? It will not as it drops on the diving attempt out at center field. Play in there at second, safe. That was excellent hustle by Goderski straight out of the box to give himself a chance for a double. Tough play for Kinley Bilkey out there in center, and he kind of overran it. The wind blowing out to left center here this afternoon. And so that one might have pushed it a little bit further than Bilkey thought it was going to go, and Goderski is the beneficiary. So this brings up Jack Brenner, a monster year for the Cardinals, and he was rewarded handsomely with an FVA Player of the Year crown earlier today. First pitch was an off-speed pitch that was ruled inside, and it's 1-0. Brenner got things going with that smash to center that beat the center fielder from Oshkosh North back on Tuesday, drove in a couple of runs. He ended up on third, did Brenner. Got a cannon behind the plate, plus defender, plus defender, really, for Fondy back there behind the dish as well. This one's down and away, and perhaps being careful with Brenner. Can't blame that strategy. But on deck, it doesn't get much easier with Berg on deck and Zangel in the hole. So got to pitch to someone in this Fondy order, and that was a truth that Oshkosh North found out in a tough way back on Tuesday. 3-0. Check back there on Goderski. Here is the 3-0, an off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Here's the 3-1. Brenner rips this one to third. They look Goderski back. That's a nice play there. Ooh. And I would think that would be interference. The ball was there, but it almost we'll see what the conversation is here. Menasha's coach is coming out to have a conversation. They did call Brenner out at first, excuse me. So perhaps just making sure that was the call that was going to stay, and that will. So he did have the ball by the time Brenner got there, but the throw kind of made Brenner have to slow down, and then there was the collision over at first. Nonetheless, it's out number 2. Nice play over there by Koopman to look Goderski back and then throw out Brenner. That brings up Hudson Berg, the second baseman, and the first pitch is down in the dirt. See if Fondy can cash in their first runner in scoring position as Goderski blooped one out to right center, and Bilkey with a diving play that he couldn't make. Now Schmalinski's going to step off again for the second time this inning. Berg awaits the 1-0. Goderski dancing out there between second and short. This one grounded over to shortstop. Taken in there, and the throw is a good one to first by Dylan Wood, and that's the side for Fondy. So they leave one stranded, and we head to the second inning, and it's scoreless on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Back after this on Radio Plus.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
We return top half of inning number 2, still scoreless on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Glad to have you along here today. Jordan King with you. Carrie's punching the buttons. Got Zane and Eli down there on the cameras as well. Appreciate their work to bring this regional championship baseball game to you. Back to work goes Noah Ditter, and he fires in good-looking spot, but just off on the outside part of the plate. And it's 1-0. He's facing his counterpart, Paul Schmalinski, and that one bounced through the left-hand batter's box, and it's 2-0. So Schmalinski with an opportunity to help his own cause here, get on base and start something for Menasha. The Blue Jays have not yet had a batter reach base. There's strike one on the outside portion of the plate. All three batters put it in play for Menasha, but not able to reach. Everything in the infield. That's a big cut from Schmalinski, and he swung right through it. 2-2 as Ditter just continues to throw strikes. Has not had a 3-ball count yet, till now. That one's outside. Curse of the commentator there. Although it was pretty much outside before I said that. That's a ball that was high, and it's skied over to first base. And the sure hands over there of Logan Bonlander. And there's out number one. So Jack Olszewski, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Bats on the right side. The baseball has not left the infield as of yet for Ditter. He's done a nice job with the soft contact. Here's one out to short. Sliding play there. And then Guderski pivoted and had his back foot slip out on him. So we'll call it an infield single for Olszewski. I'm sure Guderski would say he could have thrown him out had he kept his footing there, but not to be. So that'll bring up Dylan Wood with Olszewski over there at first. Wood, the shortstop, made the final out of the inning in the bottom of the first. Nice block by Jack Brenner. Saved a base there. And it's ball number one. Pierston eyes on deck for Menasha. That ball down and away. So Ditter falls behind 2-0. Ditter checks on Olszewski, comes home with the 2-0. That one's down and in, and it's 3-0. Now, interestingly enough, Ditter works from the stretch even when nobody's on base, so nothing changes. There's perhaps some benefit to that when you have someone on base, but you still do got to consider checking on him every now and again. That strike in there at the top of the zone, and it's 3-1. Doesn't look like Olszewski wants to run. He's got a pretty small lead over there at first. This one foul tip straight back to the screen, and Ditter has battled his way back to a full count. Wood with his toes, back toe all the way on the chalk. There's a check on Olszewski. Olszewski took his lead that time before Ditter had even put his foot on the rubber, and might as well throw over in that case. Here goes the runner, and the ball is down and away, a walk. And Brenner was ready to let that one fly, but with the ball, didn't matter. He's going to go have a conversation with Ditter and just talk about, I'm assuming, throwing strikes here. After not having a 3-ball count in the first inning, he's had 2 of the 3 batters here in this inning have worked counts with at least 3 balls, and now the first walk of the game. This one lined out to center, Killian got a great jump on it, and he makes the play. That was a big-time play by Keaton Killian out there in center field, and he got a great read on it, good jump, made the play. That brings up Zach Dietering, the second baseman, and Ditter is 1 out away from getting out of this mini jam here in the second inning. Ditter comes home outside part of the plate and just off. It's 1-0. Ditter checks back at second on Olszewski, comes to the inside part of the plate, and that one does catch a piece. Thought that was maybe just off the plate, but Ditter gets the benefit of the doubt, and it's 1-1. Here is the 1-1. This one grounded to second. Should be the inning for Fondy, and it is. Nice play over there by Hudson Berg, and the Cards get out of, we'll call it a mini jam there, and we go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Due up for the Cards, Zangel, Patton, Bonlander when we return.
At Musa Sheet Metal, they spend generations building a better everyday life. They don't just build panels, they build a legacy. They're growing, innovating, and pushing the limits again with their brand new 24-gauge stocked steel line. Musa colors created by the Musa team, 25 bold choices ready to go. Delivering the best solutions in architectural sheet metal. Say hi to the Musa apprentices. They're your neighbors, your classmates, and the future of the industry. Musa Sheet Metal, revolutionizing steel, building the future.
You've dreamt of the kind of home you want to live in for years. Now is the time to turn that dream into a reality. Quest Interiors has you covered with flooring, cabinetry, and countertops all in one place. From kitchens and bathrooms to family and bedrooms, bring your vision to life with professional installation. Visit our showrooms in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Quest Interiors, exceptional style, exceptional savings.
We return bottom half of inning number 2. Zach Zangel, unanimous first-team all-conference pick to lead things off for the Cards here in inning number 2. That one's low and inside, and he takes ball number 1. That Germantown-Manitowoc Lincoln game doesn't get going until 5 o'clock this afternoon, so we won't have any updates for you there. This one fouled straight back. Zangel right on it, just cut underneath it a little bit. It's 1-1. Again, the 2 seed in this sectional is West Bend West. The 3 is Neenah. That one's down as well. Good eye. Close, but Zangel laid off, and it's 2-1. Schmalinski relying heavily on the off speed here early. This one's a fastball up and away, and it's 3-1 to Zangel. Designated hitter Bryson Patton on deck. First baseman Logan Bonlander also due up in this second inning. This one lined out to center, tailing away from Bilkey out there in center. Takes a terrible hop, and Zangel's going to be able to run here. He's going to have second for sure. Going to turn to third, and he will have a stand-up triple. And it probably goes down as a double with a 2-base error, but that took a wicked hop on Kinley Bilkey. I mean, he got there, kind of centered his body behind it just like you'd teach someone to do, and it just hopped straight to the left. Oh, man. So a big chance here for Fondy. Runner on third, nobody out. Here's the DH, Bryson Patton. RBI chance straight away here in the second inning. That ball's down and away, ball number 1. Good piece of hitting, though, by Zangel, even regardless of what happened out there afterwards. This one grounded to short, should score a run. There's the first run of the ball game, and it's a good piece of hitting. Put the ball in play. That's what Patton did, and he sacrifices Zangel home. 6-3 on the putout, but Fondy puts the first run on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. They lead at 1-0. So Logan Bonlander, the first baseman, he's been busy through the first 2 innings out in the field. First chance here at the plate, and he watches ball 1. Schmolinski trying to work the bottom of that zone and not getting the call as of yet. That one is in there for a strike on the outside part of the plate. But again, right at the knees. I think that's where Schmolinski wants to work. Here's the pitch. Bonlander over to third. Koopman has it, makes the long throw to first, and there's out number 2. Don't see many left-handed throwing infielders, but over there at third, good start to the game for Jacob Koopman. He's had a couple of putouts to this point. Here comes the 8-hole hitter, Gavin Supernan, with 2 outs. 1 run already across here in the second. This one's, just clipping the outside of the plate. Thought that might have been a touch outside, but strike number 1, and it's 0-1 to Supernan. Schmolinski comes home and throws his hat off out there, but ball was at the shins, and it's 1-1. Supernan out in right field. Had one play really to make all game against Oshkosh North, and he made a great play out there. Nice running snag. Back on Tuesday. Now he's behind 1-2. First at bat here this afternoon. Schmolinski comes home, lined back to center. That's another good piece of hitting. Supernan just waited on it and drove it right back at Schmolinski. And that's the second time. I mean, that's exactly what Zangel did too. Drove it straight back up the middle. So that'll bring up the 9-hitter, Espen Kettlehut, the left fielder. Kettlehut's big defensive play came back in the first on Tuesday. Bases loaded, line drive out to left field. He had a ton of ground to cover. Supernan's back there at first. And, yeah, Kettlehut made the play, and that kind of got Fondy going in terms of momentum back on Tuesday, and they never looked back. Two outs here. Kettlehut swings at the first pitch and fouls it back over Menasha's dugout, and it's 0-1. Top of the order with Keaton Killian on deck for the Cards. If Kettlehut can find a way on base. Back over to Koopman there at third. Kettlehut runs well, careful, and that one's past the first baseman. We'll see if they send Supernan. They will. Going to be a play at the plate. Good throw, and it's just short. And Kettlehut's all the way into third. 2 runs for the Cards. They lead it 2-0. And how about the hustle from Espen Kettlehut to maybe rush the throw from Koopman just a touch and just cause the chaos out on the base paths. So Keaton Killian comes to the dish with a runner at third and 2 outs here in the second. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat, and it's in there for a strike on the outside corner. As soon as Kettlehut got out of the box, you knew that was going to be a tough play at first, and his speed caused all of that. That's a bender that misses way outside, and it's 1-1. But I love the aggressive way that Fondy runs the bases. Take the extra base, make him make a good throw. That one's in the dirt, bounces on home plate, and it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 to Keaton Killian. Grounded down, line down the left field line, and there's another RBI, and Killian's going to dig in for, he thought about it. Thought better of it, and there's an RBI single for Keaton Killian to keep this thing rolling for the Cards. A 3-run second so far for Fondy. Going to have a conversation here. Will Pierce Denies go out and talk with Paul Schmalinski? It's going to be Guderski, Grant Guderski to the dish. He doubled out to center field back in the first inning. If you would find a way to double here with the speed of Keaton Killian, that'll be another run for Fondy. Anything to a gap. Killian back to first. That was a good pickoff move. But Killian easily back in. See if Fondy can put up another big crooked number. Here goes Killian. Throw down to second. In there easily is Keaton Killian with a stolen base. So now a runner in scoring position. That was a ball, by the way, to Guderski, and it's 1-0. Now anything in play, pretty much. Anything that touches grass is going to score a run. This one chopped over to Koopman. Koopman takes the big hop over to first. Is he there? He is out. Close play over at first, but that'll end the second inning for Fondy. They hang 3 on Menasha and lead the Blue Jays 3-0 on the Quest Interior scoreboard. We go to the third right after this on Radio Plus.
It's the dawn of a new day for Dr. Kathy Doyle Kelly and Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry.
I'm Dr. Dylan Fogel, and I'm now the new owner of Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry. I'm truly honored to carry forward the tradition of personalized care you've come to know and trust. You'll still see Dr. Kathy and all the familiar faces who make this office feel like home. At Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry, we promise to do everything we can to keep you smiling before, after, and even during your appointment.
Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry will be changing its name to Fogel Family Dentistry in 2026. Find Dr. Dylan Fogel on Fond du Lac Avenue in Fond du Lac.
104 years ago, Silica opened its first store. And as the community grew and home needs changed, so did we. That's why we now carry thousands of top quality home goods, a vast furniture selection, all your appliance needs, the comfort of bedding, and even TV, security, and home electronics. Everything you need for your home, and the delivery and service after the sale that keeps customers coming back for generations. That's why, since 1922, it's been Silica for your home.
Here in the third inning, Fondy leads at 3-0. Crooked number for the Cards in that bottom of the second inning. I would say a pretty animated discussion going on between Fondy's first base coach and the base umpire as well. I think Fondy's argument there was that the first baseman, Tommy Shuey, lifted his toe off of first base on Grant Guderski's ground out, and obviously that would have changed things. That would have scored another run. Probably. Maybe not, but at the very worst, it would have been first and third with Jack Brenner at the dish. Nonetheless, back to the top half. Menasha back to the bat with Ethan Olszewski, and he saw a ball and now a strike from Noah Ditter, and it's 1-1. Ditter set once again. 1-1 pitch on the outside part of the plate, fouled off the end of the bat from Olszewski. So Ditter ahead here, 1-2. And comes in with a low fastball, and it's 2-2. Olszewski's the 9-hitter, so it'll be top for Menasha right after this. That one's inside, and Ethan Olszewski has worked himself a full count from being behind 1-2. Bilke is on deck. He popped up to first his first time up. Here's the full count, and it hits Olszewski. So Menasha has its leadoff man on for the first time today. And the top of the order with Bilkey. Now with a runner with which to play with. We'll see if Menasha decides to try to move him over or they let Bilkey swing away. We'll see. Bilkey, the center fielder. Here's the first pitch to Bilkey, and Ditter slipped out there on the mound. And I think Brenner saw what I did. He kind of like almost grabbed the back of his leg there. And so I think Brenner's just making sure he's all right after slipping off the turf out there. And Ditter says good to go. But it's a first pitch ball, which has been a little too common, these last two innings. This one skied out to center by Bilkey. It's tailing away from Killian, but he has plenty of time to get there. Using that speed out there in center field makes it look easy, and it's the first out for Fondy. Brings up the first baseman, Tommy Shuey. He lined straight to Grant Godursky back in the first. Another check over there on Olszewski. Jack Olszewski and Ethan Olszewski, two of the three Menasha players to reach base. Olszewski's going to go. That one's in the dirt, and Brenner couldn't handle it. Popped up out of his stance, ready to throw, and just snuck out of the glove. So Olszewski down to second base. Shuey ahead 1-0 with that pitch down in the dirt. Ditter comes home. That ball at the shins, and it's 2-0. Second time someone named Olszewski was out there at second base. Jack Olszewski was stranded out at second last inning. Now Ethan Olszewski out there right now. Three straight balls to Tommy Shuey. See if he has the green light here on 3-0. Doesn't matter. Way inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk. Bringing up Jacob Koopman. Koopman's been very busy over at third on the defensive side. He's made four throws over to first. And a couple of them have caused some contentious plays, pulling Shuey off of first base. But he's responsible for 3 assists so far. That first pitch in there on the inside part of the plate. Koopman, as so many batters do, kind of crowding it right on the inside of that box. Toes on the paint. That's a ball, so it's 1-1. Runners on first and second for the second straight inning for Menasha. This one lined down the right field line, and it's fair. It's going to score at least one run. And a nice play over there in right field by Gavin Supernan to cut that thing off, make a good throw back into the infield. But it's an RBI single for Koopman. And runners on first and third with just one out. Schmolinski will come to the plate with a chance to really help himself. He's doing the pitching today for Menasha. His first at-bat, he popped out to first base. So after shutting out Oshkosh North back on Tuesday, Fondy's given up a run here in the third, and they still lead at 3-1 on that Quest Interior scoreboard. This one popped foul, should stay playable. Oh, and a nice concentration play by Logan Bonlander. Had to turn a couple of times. The wind got hold of that one and started to push it back towards play. And that is a massive out. Out number 2 for Noah Ditter. I thought that was going to be closer, kind of like Bonlander did. I thought that was going to be closer to the fence, and the wind just got a hold of it, pushed it back towards play. Brenner will give the signal to the infield. Just get out of this is the message from Fondy with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. This one lined out to center. Should stay up for Keaton Kelly, and it does. And so Noah Ditter works out of another jam here in the third, giving up just 1 run. But the Fondy Cardinals lead it 3-1 after 2.5 here on Radio Plus.
When we first began with high school sports and video streaming, it was a camera or 2. It's grown to multiple cameras, multiple angles, a switcher operator, a couple of announcers, on-field shots, and really we do all this to enhance the viewership.
But the larger scale production, we just have more options, more camera shots, more quality, with our interviews during the game, post-game, and pre-game, really bring a great product to families that are watching at home or watching after the fact.
Students have families in different communities, different states, even different countries. All those people are able to watch our broadcast and see their family performing at a really high level.
We like to think of it as not just being there for a game, but really enhancing the community involvement with this, and that's what it's about.
We return here to Joe Braun Field, bottom of the third, 3-1 lead for the Fondy Cardinals. Here comes the player of the year in the Fox Valley Association, Jack Brenner. His first at-bat went 5-3. That was that play where Koopman's throw took Shuey off the bag, and there was a collision right in front of first base. But enough time, I guess, that they ruled the play was over. First pitch to Brenner is down, and it's 1-0. Brenner scored 4 times on Tuesday against Oshkosh North. Well, his position, his place in the order did, at least. He was courtesy run for 1 time, but reached base all 4 times and came around as well. Trying to start another Fondy offensive rally here in the third, excuse me. He's ahead 2-1. Here's the 2-1, and Brenner a little frustrated with himself. That one was well low, and he chased it, chopped it foul, and it's 2-2. Schmalinski ready with the 2-2 pitch outside. It's full. Brenner Berg's angle here in the third. That's due up, and Patton, if any of them get on. Here's the pitch that's outside. Oh, it's umpire rung up Brenner on a pitch that was nearly in the left-handed batter's box. So a backwards K, and Brenner is 0 for 2. Hudson Berg will come to the dish. And Fondy fans certainly believe that Brenner should be at first. I do. I tend to agree with them. Berg swings and misses at the first offering at this at-bat. He grounded out to short his first time up. And he's behind 0-1 here. Off-speed pitch, blooped, foul. See if Fondy able to make some of the adjustments, all this off-speed stuff that they're seeing from Paul Schmalinski. See if they can wait on it a little bit more and drive it up the middle like we saw a couple of batters do there. Zangel in particular, along with Supernand, just finding a way to single that thing back up the box. 1-2 here to the second baseman, Berg. Fastball fouled back. You just wonder if they're able to sit on that off speed and then just try to fight off those fastballs, you got to feel like that might be a recipe for success for Fondy, but that's easy to say sitting up here in the booth, right? Schmalinski's ready with the 1-2. Off-speed pitch, popped straight up in the air, and Schmalinski's going to take care of Berg. And there's 2 down here in the third. Zach Zangel, the third baseman, comes to the plate. He reached third base, if you want to call it a triple, lined one out to center, and then it just pretty much bounced straight sideways on Kinley Bilkey, and running hard out of the box, Zangel was rewarded with 3 bases. Ended up scoring the first run of the ball game back in the second. That one's just high enough, right at the bottom of the kneecaps, and it's 0-1. Zangel had no problem lining that off-speed pitch back up the middle. Now he's behind 0-2. Another slider-looking pitch there from Schmalinski that caught the inside part of the plate. He's way ahead. Zangel awaits the 0-2. That one's inside. Almost got him. Schmalinski ready with the 1-2. Outside part of the plate. Off speed. Strikeout for Schmalinski. And the Cards for the first time today go down 1-2-3 in the third. And Menasha got to feel good about that third inning. Got one in the top and then set down the Cards in order in the bottom. We go to the fourth inning. Fondy leads at 3-1 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. You're watching on Radio Plus.
Today's game is brought to you by Edward Jones and these area Edward Jones financial advisors. Robert Bruce, located at 68 North Main Street. Patrick Ellistad, located at 560 Fond du Lac Avenue. Jeff Wills, located at 649 Fond du Lac Avenue. And Matt Helmer, located at 649 Fond du Lac Avenue. Good luck to all athletes in today's game. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Your dream space starts with quartz countertops from Quest Interiors. Whether it's your kitchen, bathroom, mudroom, or even a closet island, we custom fabricate one-of-a-kind surfaces that elevate every room. And the best part? We install many in as little as 1 week, quickly turning your vision into reality. Visit our showrooms in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Quest Interiors, exceptional style, exceptional savings.
Top of the fourth inning here on Radio Plus. Dylan Wood digs in. He walked back in the second inning, and he sees a strike here to start this at-bat and then chops one foul. Good hands down there, third base side. Ditter's ahead. Well, he's way ahead. 0-2 here to start this fourth inning for the Cards. This one grounded foul again. Just staying alive is Wood. Olszewski hit it pretty hard to end the top of the third inning, but right at Keaton Killing. There's not much space out there. This one blooped down the right field line. Gonna get down. Is it fair? It is. And Wood's going to dig towards 2. Play out there at second. It's not close at all. Out at second as Wood gunned down by Gavin Supernan. And a good job by Grant Godursky as well to stay with the tag. So a single and then thrown out trying to advance to second is Wood, and that'll bring up Pierce Denny's. That was a great play by Supernan. And then, again, I think got to give Godursky some credit there, staying with it on the tag. And it's a big time out there. Would have been runner in scoring position with no one out. This one flied out to center. Killian settles underneath it, makes the play, and now just like that, 2 down.
Now batting number 17, second baseman, Zach Peters.
how quickly an inning can turn. It looked like a leadoff single. Wood tries to turn it into 2, then Denny's flies out to center, and just like that, Ditter's almost out of the inning. Here's a first pitch strike to Zach Dietering, the second baseman. Couple of nice plays by this Fondy defense. Dietering gets a piece, but swings right through it, and it's 0-2. You know, we said in the pregame, if you're Fondy, no errors, but how about a couple of plus defensive plays that we've seen so far for the Cards? You'll take those as well. 0-2 count here. This one out to right field. Looks like it's going to stay up there for Supernan. It does, and a 1-2-3 inning for Ditter out on the bump. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Fondy leading it 3-1 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard on Radio Plus.
Cleaning your gutters is a pain, but ignoring them could ruin the value of your home. Gutter Helmet is the solution. Choose the perfect color to blend with your home, and our certified technicians will install Gutter Helmet in less than a day. Call Gutter Helmet today to never clean your gutters again.
We return to Joe Braun Field. Fondy leads at 3-1 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Jordan King with you on a beautiful day for baseball. There's a nice breeze out there that's kind of, well, it's stiff enough. It's out to left field. Right now, Fondy's having trouble hitting this off-speed pitching of Paul Schmalinski hard. Really just, that 3-run second where they were able to tee a couple of them up. Here's Patton, the DH, and he grounds out to short to start off this fourth inning. Logan Bonlander and Gavin Supernan, the next two due up for the Cards. Bonlander grounded out to third back in the second inning. One of the many ground outs to third base. Fondy has just been out in front of this off-speed pitching of Schmalinski. Here's a first pitch strike in there at the knees. First couple innings, Schmalinski was trying to figure out where the bottom of that zone is. He's found it the last couple innings. That one's downstairs. And home plate umpire Patton Pierce denies on the back is he kind of braced himself to get hit there. He thought he was going to take one off the shin pad. This one grounded back to the pitcher. Schmalinski turns and makes the throw to first. So 2 down just like that, and the last 6 batters have been retired now. Going back to the second inning by Schmalinski. Supernan singled back in the second, straight back up the middle. He certainly looked like he had it timed up well, whereas some of the other Fondy Cardinals have been off balance. Not this time. This one skied out to second. Bilke is going to call off the second baseman Dietering, and there's the third out of the inning, and another quick one out on the bump for Schmalinski. We'll check his pitch count in just a little bit. We go to the fifth inning, and the Cards back out in the field. They lead at 3-1.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
AirTech delivers whatever it takes service to take care of you. Bryant and AirTech Heating of Fond du Lac.
All right, back here for the top of the fifth inning. Fondy has gone, last 7 Fondy Cardinal batters have gone down, and the last 2 innings have been pretty quick for the Cards. So Ditter back out there to continue here in the 5th inning. Check Ditter's pitch count here. He's thrown 59 pitches. And this according to the Fond du Lac Game Changer. And Schmelinski has thrown 52. So both of these pitchers have been relatively efficient. This will be pitch number 60 for Ditter. And Schmelinski in the low 50s through 4 innings. That's pretty good for both of these guys. That's on the outside corner and in there for a strike. It's 0-1 to the leadoff hitter, Ethan Olszewski. This one blooped out to left field. It's going to stay up out there for Espen Kettlehut. And there's out number 1 here of the 5th inning for Noah Ditter. Top of the order back around for the Blue Jays with Kinley Bilkey. Grounded to first in the first and then flew out to Killian back in the third, and he sees a first pitch strike here from Ditter. Bilkey he had to go a long way to make that final out of the bottom of the 4th, but made a nice play out there in center field. Thought that was going to be the second baseman's ball, but seemed like he kind of lost it in the sun. This one chopped. It's going to be a tough play. Ditter gets there. He's just going to try to beat Bilkey to the bag, and he does. How about that for some pitcher athleticism from Noah Ditter, the one unassisted? I don't know if he couldn't get it out of his glove or if he just thought the speed of Bilkey was going to be a tough one to shovel over there to Bonlander at first, but a nice play nonetheless, and 2 outs for Ditter and company, and another first pitch strike. How about that? 3 first pitch strikes here for Noah Ditter here in the 5th. 0-1. That one's down. This is Tommy Shuey, by the way, the first baseman. Shuey awaits the 1-1. That one bounces in the left-hand batter's box, and it's 2-1. 2-1 count. That one bounces in front of home plate. And it's 3-1. Maybe I should just stop talking about the strikes and the balls. Every time I say Ditter's firing it in there, and then we see a couple of straight balls after that. But see if he can work his way with a 3-1 count here. Comes home. That one's in. Oh, man. Jack Brenner, he didn't turn around, but you could tell Brenner was asking where that one missed. If anything, it was off the plate inside, but, man, that was a good-looking 3-1 pitch. So Shuey over there at first, and that brings up Jacob Koopman to the plate. Brenner maybe a little extra annoyed back there as he got rung up on a pitch that was well outside his last at-bat. This one grounded down to the first base and foul. Koopman so far today grounded back to the pitcher in the first, and then he knocked in an RBI single. Only run that Menasha has scored was on his bat back in the third. He's now behind 0-1. That one's just outside. It's 1-1. That's a good spot there from Ditter. It didn't clip the plate, but, man, that's a tough one to lay off. So you got to just tip your cap to Koopman there. That one also just outside. That one a little bit closer to the black part of the plate. It's 2-1 here to Koopman. That one's on the inside corner, and it's chopped foul. 2-2 with 2 outs, and Ditter an opportunity to get out of this 5th inning with no damage. Check on first. Runner goes. Brenner's going to throw it down to second, and that one gets away from Goderski. It was a good jump over there at first by Shuey. And he's in there with a stolen base. So runner in scoring position for Koopman, who's already got 1 RBI today. Full count. That one's inside, ripped a mile and a mile foul. Koopman way out in front of that one. I think he was sitting something a little harder and then just adjusted there to keep himself alive. Here's the 3-2 again, outside part of the plate, and it's a walk. So that'll bring Paul Schmalinski to the plate. The pitcher who has an opportunity to help his own cause here. That ball, by the way, got fired in by someone out in the outfield, so just getting that cleaned up before a big time at bat here in the 5th. This feels like an inflection point here this afternoon. First pitch to Schmalinski is, nearly hit his back. They're going to throw behind out there at second, and Brenner was just a little off target. I tell you what, Shuey was way out in no man's land there. That pitch nearly hit Schmalinski, and then it almost hit his bat. He kind of kept his bat up back there, but nonetheless, it's a 1-0 count to the Blue Jay pitcher. This one grounded over to third. Zangle's just got to step on it, and Fondy's out of it. Great job by Ditter, and doesn't bat an eye. He works through the jam, and Fondy takes a 3-1 lead to the bottom of the 5th. On the Quest Interiors scoreboard, 3-1 Fondy. Back after this on Radio Plus.
At Radio Plus, we're proud to bring you Stream Team coverage of local sporting events. Our team is dedicated to providing live coverage from across Wisconsin, supporting the local teams and communities we know and love. What began as a one-person operation with play-by-play on radio has grown into a 5 or 6-person production. Keeping pace with the latest technology, equipment, and personnel is not only demanding, but costly. If you'd like to support this broadcast as a sponsor or a donor in any way, please log on radioplusinfo.com.
Back here for the bottom of the 5th inning, and Schmalinski's going to go back out onto the mound. And I'll tell you what, that was a big-time juncture there in the 5th inning. Runners on first and second, Schmalinski at the plate. There's another conversation going on with a couple of the bench coaches from Fondy and the umpires. I don't know what that conversation's necessarily about, but it's the second time between innings that I've just noticed that conversation taking place, and this time with another of Fondy's assistant coaches. So two different first time it was with Fondy's first base running coach, and now there's with one of Fondy's bench coaches. So I don't know if what they're doing here if they're asking one of Fondy's bench coaches to leave or what's going on. I'm not sure. There's a conversation. They just went and talked to one of Fondy's bench coaches. Now a conversation with the umpires. Nonetheless, it's taken a little bit of wind out of the whole situation, and they just gave a thumbs up to the Fondy bench, so I think we're all good. Unfortunately, we don't get a microphone down there, so we don't know what's going on, and so sometimes we're left in the dark a little bit. Nonetheless, here's the bottom of the 5th inning. That one bounces well in front of home plate. It's a 1-0 count, to Espen Kettlehut, who back in the second inning drove in the first run of the ball game. He drove in Zangle. Check that. Supernan drove in Zangle. But Kettle did come around to score the third run in that inning. He scored on a Keaton Killian single. So a 1-0 count here to the number 9 hitter for the Cardinals, Kettlehut. This one lined out to short. That's a tough play, and way over the first baseman's head. It's out of play into the bullpen, and Kettlehut will be out to second base on the E6. Dylan Wood had it drop out of his glove on the transfer and then rushed the throw way high, and it sailed into the bullpen over there. So Kettlehut instantly into scoring position. And when the Cardinals scored their only runs of the ball game, this was the same. I mean, Zangle led that one off with a runner in scoring position. Now here in the fifth, Fondy, chance to put some insurance runs out there with top of the order and Keaton Killian at the dish. And he drove in a run back in the third. Good-looking bunt here. It's going to be tough to get him over at first. High throw, and just in time. And Killian is frustrated that once again for the second time today, Shuey is run in front of that first base bag, and the Cardinal runner has had to slow down to avoid contact. And I think that's the question here from Coach Schneider is, yes, the ball beat him, but our player had to slow down, and that's his complaint, as that's the second time there's been a throw out in front of first. But nonetheless, it's a sacrifice for Killian on the 1-3 putout. And it brings Grant Godersky to the plate with a runner at third and one down. Infield in for Menasha. They're going to try to come home on anything grounded. We have seen a ton of ground balls today. So after the Cards get out of a jam in the top of the fifth, now Menasha trying to tiptoe their way out of a runner on third with just one out situation here in the bottom of the fifth. Schmalinski, this one lined out to right, should score a run either way. Oh, and the runner over at third, Kettlehut, was off the bag. And so Godersky did his job lining it out to right field, but then Kettlehut was off the bag, and so he had to retreat. So Brenner comes up, Jack Brenner, with a runner still out there, and you'd say that was a base running mistake by Fondy, not getting that run in there. But a chance for Brenner to make everyone forget about that. This one grounded over to second base, collected there, throw to first, and Menasha gets out of it. Somehow Fondy doesn't score a run there after a leadoff error that ended with Kettlehut at second base. So we go to the sixth inning. Fondy leads it 3-1 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Back after this.
Cleaning your gutters is a pain, but ignoring them could ruin the value of your home. Gutter Helmet is the solution. Choose the perfect color to blend with your home, and our certified technicians will install Gutter Helmet in less than a day. Call Gutter Helmet today to never clean your gutters again.
Back here for the top of the sixth inning. Fondy still leads it 3-1. And you kind of have to star that situation there. And if you're looking at it from a Fondy perspective, you hope that that doesn't come into play, that extra run that they could have had there in the bottom of the fifth. So Ditter continues to work. He's got a little bit of, well, he's got a little cushion here left in his pitch count. And it'll be Olszewski to lead off for Menasha, and he lines this thing out to right center. He's going to have extra bases. That one gets all the way to the fence. And a leadoff double for Jack Olszewski. His second hit of the ball game, he singled back in inning number 2. And now a big-time double and a leadoff runner in scoring position for Menasha. That'll bring up Dylan Wood, the shortstop. Wood singled and then got thrown out trying to stretch it into a double back in the 4th. That's upstairs. Wood reached both times. Obviously, then ran himself right out of it, but he's also walked back in inning number 2. Wood lines this one out to left. This may score a run. Olszewski's going to turn. That gets past Kettlehut out there, and it's going to get all the way to the fence, and Wood going to stop out there at second. He learned his lesson from the 4th inning. But an RBI double, well, again, probably goes down as a single with a one-base error. And there's going to be a conversation here out at the pitcher's mound for the Cardinals, who have seen their lead dwindle down to 1. Led 3-0 after the second. Menasha chipped one back in the 3rd, and now here one in the 6th, and still nobody out. And I think we're going to have a pinch hitter, number 5, Jackson Zwak, is going to pinch hit here for catcher Pierce Denies. So a big-time spot here for a man off the bench in Zwak with a runner out there at second. Makes you wonder if Zwak, maybe a bunt specialist. That's what would be going through my mind here if I was a Cardinal pit player. Do they trust Zwak getting that bunt down? I don't know. Something that would certainly go through my mind. Nobody out. He's going to swing away. No such thoughts. Outside part of the plate, he fouled it straight back. 0-1. Wood out there at second base. See how aggressive Menasha wants to be. Now he's going to square around. Zwak looked like he offered at that. They're going to say ball 1. I can't believe that they didn't check out at second. They're going to say he did not offer. Zwak left the bat out there till Brenner was almost back around him. That was a miss right there, and it's 1-1. And Fondy's coach is out of the dugout. They're not super thrilled with that either. We get multiple looks at it up here. They don't down there, but certainly look pretty clean. Here's a bunt down by Zwak, and he does his job. So a sacrifice moves the tying run to third. And the frustration from Fondy's perspective is that if you say he offered at that first bunt attempt, that'd have been 2 strikes. He wouldn't have been bunting. But nonetheless, the extra life, and he got it down. So another pinch hitter here, back-to-back. They're going to pinch hit with Andy Robbins, number 15. I didn't see the coach come down and not sure when Robbins entered the game. I didn't see the coach come down and announce the pinch hitter, so he must have entered defensively or something. Robbins down to third. That one's fair, and it's out at third. Thrown to first. Double play! What a play by Zach Zengel. Goodness gracious me, the Cards get out of it. Wow. A Ball chopped down the third base line. Zangle caught it, applied the tag in one motion, and still had the wherewithal to throw it over to first to get the double play. And somehow the Cards have a one-run lead headed to the bottom of the sixth inning. Are you kidding me? Wow. What a play by the unanimous first team all FVA third baseman Zach Zangle. Wow. Lens Truck Center Play of the Week frontrunner right there, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. We'll keep it right here. Bottom of the sixth inning coming up, and it'll be Hudson Berg to lead things off. I mean, that had it all. The athleticism, the wherewithal to know where you are, the situation you're in. Apply the tag, know there's only one out, throw the guy out at first. Oh, my. So Berg digs in on the right side and fouls it straight back on the first pitch. Schmalinski has done a tremendous job today quieting the bats of Fondy outside of that second inning. And it's all been, most of it's been soft contact. Fondy's gotten into a couple of them, but soft contact. This one's hit well out to left center. It's going to beat the left fielder, and here goes Hudson Berg. Berg's got a leadoff double, and Fondy back in business offensively. Well, we saw it with the great defensive play out in left field in the first inning against Oshkosh North. That spurred Fondy's offense back on Tuesday. Now here, a big-time play by Zach Zangle, who's going to come to the plate right now with a chance to tack on another run. And Tate Winter's going to come in and run for Berg out at second. And now a conversation with Menasha as they give up a leadoff base runner that's in scoring position. And I'm finally starting to calm down here up in the booth after Zach Zangle's unbelievable play. And I don't know if we're going to see a pitching change here. I admittedly have not been keeping my eye on the pitch count situation. Schmalinski was doing just fine in terms of pitch count, but just saw a player leave. I don't know if Schmalinski's going to depart here. 60 pitches, according to Game Changer. So we'll wait to see if it is a pitching change. If so, then we'll make the appropriate changes. They're going to leave him in there, so Schmalinski's just fine. So we'll reset it again here after the meeting at the mound. Fondy leads at 3-2 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Berg just doubled to lead off the bottom of the sixth. Winter's out there to run for him, and in steps the hero of the top half of this inning, Zach Zangle. Winter takes a small lead, and good thing he did. Schmalinski checking on him. Big spot here for Zangle, who scored the game's first run. This one kind of cue-balled off the end of the bat over to second, but he does sacrifice the runner Winter over to third on the 4-3 putout.
Now batting number 10, DH Bryson.
And Fondy's going to have a pinch hitter here. Mason Giesland is going to hit for Bryson Patton. So the first chance here at the dish for Giesland. And it's a big chance. Infield in, Winter over at third. Onlander is on deck, so it looks like he'll still hit here in the bottom of the sixth. That's off-speed bender on that outside corner, and that's been money all day for Schmalinski. He's kept the pitches down, found the outside part of the plates. It's part of the reason Fondy hasn't been able to square too many up. Just hasn't made a ton of mistakes. That one's up, and it's 1-1. Just one out here for the Cards, trying to tack on a big-time insurance run. If there's a pop fly, Coach might drag Winter back to third, make sure he's on the base for when it's caught. This one lined out to center, and it's a big-time insurance run. Giesland lines it to center. Winter scores, and Fondy leads at 4-2. Logan Bonlander comes to the dish now, trying to keep this thing going for the Cards. Man, this sixth inning has had it all. And Fondy trying to put on some more insurance runs here with just one out. That one's in the dirt. It's 1-0. Fondy looked certain like they were going to give up the game's tying run top half of this inning, get out of it, and now right back to work offensively. Back to first is Giesland. Bonlander today, a couple of ground outs, one over to third and one back to the pitcher. Here's the 1-0. That one's in the dirt as well, so it's 2-0. By the way, Bonlander with a good stretch at the other end of that Zach Zangel play, too. That wasn't a certain out over at first. Good stretch there to make sure the ball beat the runner. That one did clip the outside corner, so it's 2-1. And Schmalinski's going to step off yet again, so back on. Giesland takes his lead. Bonlander waits for the 2-1. Another throw over to first. Giesland slipped momentarily, but got the hand back in there plenty early. Paying a lot of attention to Giesland. I mean, he's taken a pretty good lead over there at first, but a couple of different throwovers and an attempted throw behind from the catcher as well. So they certainly think Giesland is a threat to run. Do the Blue Jays. Here's the 2-1. Bonlander's got to stay patient in there. Runner goes. Hit and run opportunity there, and Bonlander just a touch behind it. So it'll be a 2-2 count. Sometimes it's tough when you're in there as a hitter and they just keep throwing over. You got to stay patient, and sometimes you start to swing at the first pitch you see. This one's on the outside part, and again, it's going to be just a little bit behind is Bonlander. That was well struck out there to right field. Gonna see if Giesland's on the move here again. He's got another pretty good lead over there at first. Can't go much more than that with how many times they've thrown over. There he goes. That ball's high. Throw down to second. Giesland's got his arm in there. Big time stolen base by Mason Giesland. So now a runner in scoring position and a full count here for Bonlander. Supernand is on deck. He's 1 for 2. He's got an RBI and a run scored here today. And Bonlander's ready now. Full count, 1 out. Good speed out at second with Giesland. Couple of looks back. Now the full count pitch. That one's grounded down to third, and Gieslin's going to take off over to third after the throw from Koopman, and another sacrifice by these Fondy hitters. First one from Zengel, that one from Bonlander.
Now batting, number 11, right fielder, Gavin Supernan.
And now anything from Supernan, any type of base knock will score a run. That was probably the case with Gieslin even out at second, but job done there to move up the base runner from Bonlander, and productive out. Another one here in this sixth inning. Schmalinski comes home. This one out to the gap. See if it hangs up. Looks like it will. Bilke will make the play, and Menasha is out of it, but not before Fondy gets one insurance run. They lead at 4-2 on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. We go to the top of the seventh. Last chance for Menasha when we return.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Today's game is brought to you by Edward Jones and these area Edward Jones financial advisors. Robert Bruce, located at 68 North Main Street. Patrick Ellistad, located at 560 Fond du Lac Avenue. Jeff Wills, located at 649 Fond du Lac Avenue. And Matt Helmer, located at 649 Fond du Lac Avenue. Good luck to all athletes in today's game. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Last chance here at Joe Braun Field for the Menasha Blue Jays, who, just like on Tuesday, have punched well above their weight of a 12 seed. I mean, they have been impressive here this afternoon, and they're still not out of it just yet. Ethan Olszewski leads things off. First pitch is outside, and it's 1-0. Ditter up to 87 pitches according to Game Changer, so realistic possibility he sees this thing out, but a couple of balls to start off this inning does not necessarily bode well for that. Here's the 2-0. That one right across the center of the plate, and it's 2-1 to Ethan Olszewski, who is 1 for 2. Check that 0 for 1. He reached it on a hit by pitch back in the third inning and then flew out to left in the fifth. This one grounded over to second. Diving play made there, and the throw just late. And a nice job by Brenner to back it up. And Olszewski nearly turned that thing to second. If he had, he would have been dead to rights. The Little League backup play that, hey, there's a lot of catchers that are lazy and don't do that. Brenner got down the line. It was a great play out at second by Berg, but the throw just a little bit wide and well short. So leadoff runner on here for Menasha. Here's the top of the lineup with Bilke. Bilke is 0 for 3. And he's behind 0-1 here in the seventh. This one lined out to right. It's not going to stay up out there, and this could score a run. Olszewski over to third. He's going to round it and come home. An RBI double for Bilke. I tell you what, if Fondy would have turned and thrown that home, it would have been a closer play than I think Menasha realized. But a big-time RBI double by Bilke. He was 0 for 3 to that point, and now, once again, Menasha is down just a run with nobody out and a runner at second, just like the sixth inning. And so another conversation out at the pitcher's mound for Fondy as to how they're going to deal with the upcoming batters. Tommy Shuey the first baseman will be up. Jacob Koopman on deck, and then Paul Schmalinski, the pitcher, is in the hole. Schmalinski was up with runners on first and second back in the fifth, and he grounded it over to Zangle at third. Might get another chance here in the top of the seventh. So this is Shuey. First pitch in there for a strike. Right at the knees. Good looking pitch from Ditter. And it's 0-1. How does Fondy work its way out of this jam? Pitch number 2 is up. 1-1. Bilkey's got good speed out there, the center fielder at second base. Ditter comes home. This one grounded over to first. Gets past Bonlander. They're going to send Bilkey home. Throw home from right is late. Now going to send a guy down to second and well out at second base. So Shuey tried to advance, but he tied the game up. So that looks like it's going to do it for Ditter out there. We shall see. Yeah, we're going to have a pitching change. We'll tell you about it when we come back here on Radio Plus Video Sports. Stay with us.
At Musa Sheet Metal, they spend generations building a better everyday life. They don't just build panels, they build a legacy. They're growing, innovating, and pushing the limits again with their brand new 24-gauge stocked steel line. Musa colors created by the Musa team, 25 bold choices ready to go. Delivering the best solutions in architectural sheet metal. Say hi to the Musa apprentices. They're your neighbors, your classmates, and the future of the industry. Musa Sheet Metal, revolutionizing steel, building the future.
Your dream space starts with quartz countertops from Quest Interiors. Whether it's your kitchen, bathroom, mudroom, or even a closet island, we custom fabricate one-of-a-kind surfaces that elevate every room. And the best part? We install many in as little as 1 week, quickly turning your vision into reality. Visit our showrooms in Oshkosh and Fond du Lac. Quest Interiors, exceptional style, exceptional savings.
All right, back here, top of the seventh inning. Menasha's got 2 across with 1 out. It's going to be Brody Haas in there for the Cards. That'll close the book on Noah Ditter. 6 1/3. 8 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks. Ditter threw 95 pitches. And Haas comes in to try to give a different look to this Menasha team. So Jacob Koopman comes to the plate. I guess the benefit, I mean, if you're looking for a silver lining for Fondy, it's that Shuey tried to get to second there, and Brenner realized he wasn't going to have a play at the plate. Oh, and this one is nearly hits Koopman. Haas comes inside right away and a little bit loose. But, yeah, Brenner cut that throw off and threw down to second for the easy out to at least get 1 down and clear the bases for Haas here to start his afternoon. And he's got 2 balls to start this thing off. Hard throwing, you can see that. But so far, hasn't found the zone. Here's the 2-0. Driven out to center field. They think Koopman got all of it, and he did. Koopman just hit a 1-run bomb to center, and Menasha leads it 5-4. Wow. And the base ump is not happy with the theatrics of Koopman surrounding the bases. The umpire told him to get running, and now there's a conversation being had with one of the coaching staff of Menasha. It took Koopman about 30 seconds to get to second base. But, hey, I mean, he did just hit about a 385 foot shot out to dead center. And after coming into this inning down 4-2, Menasha leads at 5-4. Good off-speed pitch there from Haas. We told you how hard Haas throws, and Koopman just used that speed and belted one to straightaway center. Schmalinski is going to call time here. I think he was a little surprised at how quick Haas works. Haas gets the ball and he's right back into his windup. And so Schmalinski's taking some time between pitches to kind of settle things down. Here comes the 0-2 pitch for the third time. Strike three, looking. So there's out number 2. And Jack Olszewski, the designated hitter, will now come to the plate for Menasha with 2 down. Haas from the windup. This one in on the hands. Look out down there. Olszewski nearly got one of his coaches. 0-1 count to Olszewski. The big leg kick and the off-speed pitch froze Olszewski, was just down. Here's the 1-1. In on the hands again. That's a good-looking pitch from Haas. Second time he's come in really tight on the hands of Olszewski, and he's beat him both times. See if he does that on the 1-2 pitch. Comes home upstairs, and it's 2-2 with 2 down. Fondy will have Kettle Hutton in the top in the bottom of this inning, and they're going to need at least one. And, that one is inside. So Haas has to come again after what he thought was the strikeout. There is the strikeout. Olszewski down on strikes, and Fondy, well, the stage is set for them. They got to find one here in the bottom of the 7th. We're back after this on Radio Plus.
Whatever it takes.
AirTech delivers whatever it takes service to take care of you. Bryant and AirTech Heating of Fond du Lac.
It's the dawn of a new day for Dr. Kathy Doyle Kelly and Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry.
I'm Dr. Dylan Fogel, and I'm now the new owner of Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry. I'm truly honored to carry forward the tradition of personalized care you've come to know and trust. You'll still see Dr. Kathy and all the familiar faces who make this office feel like home. At Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry, we promise to do everything we can to keep you smiling before, after, and even during your appointment.
Doyle Kelly Family Dentistry will be changing its name to Fogel Family Dentistry in 2026. Find Dr. Dylan Fogel on Fond du Lac Avenue in Fond du Lac.
All right, last chance for the Cards. They got to find at least one here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They trail 5-4 on the Quest Interior scoreboard after 3 runs in the top half of the 7th inning by the Menasha Blue Jays, the 12th seed who upset Slinger back on Tuesday and now has the Cardinals on the ropes here at home. 4 of the 5 runs scored in the 6th inning and later here for Menasha. Kettle Hut, who was stranded at third back in the 5th inning. That was that run where he was off third on a potential sac fly from Goderski, and he just said, man, I hope that doesn't come back to bite the Cardinals, and right now that's the difference. Kettle Hut up 3-0. Schmalinski only had 72 pitches coming into this inning, so Fondy's going to have to get to him here in inning number 7. He's not going to get chased. That one's on the outside part of the plate in strike number 1. Kettle Hut awaits the 3-1. A long pause from Schmalinski. This one, line back up the center. Fondy has its leadoff runner. Kettle Hut, plenty of pace out there with him. And here comes the first team all-conference FVA pick, Keaton Killian. And Killian so far today, he is 1 for 2. He had a sacrifice to move Kettle Hut over in the 5th inning, singled in a run back in the 2nd, and grounded back to Schmalinski to start this game on a bunt that got a little bit too close to the pitcher. And I don't know if we're going to see a pitching change here for Schmalinski. Tell you what, he is throwing a gem if that is indeed the decision or if they'll keep him rolling. I mean, Fondy's certainly had their fair share of base knocks here today, but I think if you're Menasha, you got to roll with the guy that got you here in Schmalinski. He has been terrific today, but we'll see. Yep, just a conversation. Schmalinski's going to continue, but he's got to be careful with the top part of this order. And you also, part of that conversation might have been how you deal with Keaton Killian, because he's liable to lay down a bunt and beat it out as well. So got to worry about that if you're Menasha too. Check on Kettle Hut. Come home. This one swung on over to first base. Throw out to short. That was a dangerous throw to make, but it was blocked out there well by the shortstop, Dylan Wood. But Kettle Hut does the job to move the runner into scoring position. Back-to-back sacrifices by Keaton Killian. And now another timeout as Grant Godursky walks to the plate. Godursky doubled in the first, grounded out in the second, and then hit that, you'll remember that line drive out to right field that probably should have scored a run. No! Trying to get Kettle Hut with the hidden ball trick. They're trying everything in the book. As a Menasha almost got him. And what a helpless feeling for coaches and fans alike. Almost got him. First pitch to Godursky. Lined out to right. This will tie it up. Godursky going to round first and head for second. He's in there with a double. And it's tied. First pitch swinging, and Grant Godursky ties it up. And that didn't take long. Jack Brenner barely made his way out of the on-deck circle before he was told to go down to first. And that'll bring up Hudson Berg. And they're going to pinch run for Godursky out at second with Austin Demos. So Hudson Berg, the second team all-conference Fox Valley pick, comes to the plate needing a base knock to send Fondy to the sectional round. Also got to stay out of a double play as well. Don't want to end it with this one with Zach Zangel on deck. That's inside, and again, kind of the fake hidden ball trick type of deal by the catcher. Denies He pretended like the ball went past him, trying to get one of the Fondy runners, to deke one of the Fondy runners into going. Berg, the 1-0, and Schmalinski steps off. Demos at second, Brenner at first. That's a bender inside, 2-0. Schmalinski trying to regroup and fire a strike in there to the second baseman, Hudson Berg. He got the win back on Tuesday on the bump. Today back over at second base. 2-0 pitch, down in the dirt, and it's 3-0. Third baseman and first team all-conference pick Zach Zangel awaits on deck. And he's responsible for my voice cracking out here in the 7th inning. That play he made back in the 5th. Oh, my. Or was it the 6th? Might have been the 6th inning. That one's in there on the inside corner to Hudson Berg. So a 3-1 count here to the second baseman, Hudson Berg. Plenty of speed out at second to win this thing for the Cards. This one lined out to left, and it is down. Demos rounds third. He'll score. Fondy wins it. Regional champs. They're headed to sectionals. Hudson Berg will get absolutely mashed out there at second base. The Cards win it 6-5 the final. And the clock strikes midnight on the Cinderella run that Menasha has had. The Cardinals give up 3 runs in the top of the 7th and come right back at it with 2 more in the bottom. They walk it off on the RBI single by Hudson Berg. What a game. Every twist and turn you could have ever scripted came here this afternoon. What a ball game. 6-5 the final on the Quest Interiors scoreboard. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back with our post-game show right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Plus, we're proud to bring you stream team coverage of local sporting events. Our team is dedicated to providing live coverage from across Wisconsin, supporting the local teams and communities we know and love. What began as a one-person operation with play-by-play on radio has grown into a 5 or 6-person production. Keeping pace with the latest technology, equipment, and personnel is not only demanding, but costly. If you'd like to support this broadcast as a sponsor or a donor in any way, please scan the QR code on the screen.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Let's Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Back here on Radio Plus Video Sports, post-game show. We'll wrap it up here from Joe Braun Field. My goodness, we'll tell you the story of this game. There's a good look at the regional champion, Fond du Lac Cardinals, and they'll play the winner of Manitowoc Lincoln, the number 8 seed, and the number 1 seed, Germantown. Germantown has yet to lose this season, but Fondy fans don't care about any of that. What a ball game here today. It had everything. If it had parents pulling out their hair after that top of the 7th. It had an early 3-run spot, and then it took some late fireworks for the Cards to eventually get the comeback 6-5 win here tonight. And by the way, those players, they're going to have their quick huddle here. They're going to get a look at their regional plaque. Then they got to get going. They got to get out of here and head over. And there's so many seniors on this team that are going to graduate here this evening as well. So certainly a fun-filled milestone kind of day for a lot of the players. In fact, the majority of the players on this Fond du Lac Cardinal baseball team. All right, back in the second inning. That's where we'll start today. Fondy scored 3 runs. Zach Zangel, Gavin Supernan, and Espen Kettlehut all came around to score. Supernan also had an RBI. Keaton Killian had an RBI in that second inning. Fondy opened up a 3-0 lead that stood, for about 5-10 minutes. And then in the top half of the third inning, Menasha got Ethan Olszewski on base by a hit-by pitch. He stole second and then came around to score on an RBI single from Jacob Koopman. Keep Jacob Koopman in your mind. He was the star of the show in the top half of the 7th. It was 3-1 all the way to the top of the 6th. That's when Jack Olszewski got on base with a double. He was driven in by Dylan Wood of Menasha. That made it 3-2. Wood got all the way to third base. Then after Zach Jackson Zwock sacrificed Wood over to third, and that's when the play of the game defensively happened for Fond du Lac. Zach Dietering, the second baseman for Menasha, grounded one over to third base. In one motion, Zach Zangel, the first-team All-FVA player, applied the tag on Wood and then threw Dietering out at first for an inning-ending double play. Right when it looked like Menasha was going to tie it up, Fondy took a 3-2 lead to the bottom of the 6th. That's when Fondy tacked on an extra insurance run. Hudson Berg came around to score after he led off the inning with a double. He was driven in by Mason Giesland, and that gave Fondy a 4-2 lead heading to the top half of the 7th inning. Then in the 7th, Ethan Olszewski got on with a single. Kinley Bilkey drove him around with a double to score Olszewski. And then Shuey drove in Bilkey, to tie things up. That made it 5-5 for the time being. Then it brought Jacob Koopman to the dish, and Koopman hit about a 385-foot bomb out to center. That made it 5-4 in favor of Menasha. Then a couple of strikeouts later brought Fondy to the dish, down by a run. Espen Kettlehut led off with a single. Godursky scored him with a double. Then they intentionally walked Jack Brenner to bring up the hero, Hudson Berg. Number 4, the second baseman. He singled one out to left center field. That drove in Godursky. It was Austin Demos who was running for Godursky, and that walked it off for the Fondy Cardinals. So Fondy went from having a 3-0 lead. They squandered that. They trailed heading to the bottom of the 7th inning, and they get it done. 6-5 the final. They're regional champs. They'll move on to the sectional round coming up next Tuesday. Here's the thing that we do know. Fondy will be the 10 o'clock game, and they'll play at Manitowoc Lincoln, and we'll have it for you here on Radio Plus. Those are the only certainties. In 7 minutes, they'll have the first pitch between Manitowoc Lincoln and Germantown. And that will be the winner of that game will be Fondy's opponent coming up next Tuesday. Fondy's got to win too, and they'll punch their ticket to state. Wow, what a ball game. Thanks for being with us today. I want to thank Carrie, thank Eli, thank Zane. Wow, what an awesome game we had here today. If you're going to give it to a player of the game, it's got to be Hudson Berg. He scored one of the runs in the 6th inning, and then he drove in the game-winning run on the walk-off. You know, I called it back in the 6th inning. I said, there's your Lens Truck Center play of the week with the Zach Zangel play over at third base. Well, he might have been outdone there with the walk-off from Hudson Berg in the bottom of the 7th. All right, we're going to say so long. Thanks to all our sponsors up and down the line. Thanks to Fondy for a great home season. They now move on the road onto the neutral site at Manitowoc Lincoln next week. For Carrie, for Eli and Zane, all our sponsors up and down the line, Jordan King saying so long. The Cardinals are regional champs, and we'll see them next Tuesday. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Walk right in. That's the laid-back feeling you have when you work with the Roush Insurance Agency in Fond du Lac. Their agents are dedicated to putting your mind at ease when you make your insurance decisions. They live, work, and play here, and will make sure that they are there at the time of need for their clients and families. Visit RoushINS.com for more information or walk right in. 770 South Main Street in Fond du Lac. The Roush Insurance Agency, your hometown insurance team for over 30 years.
At Radio Plus, we're proud to bring you stream team coverage of local sporting events. Our team is dedicated to providing live coverage from across Wisconsin, supporting the local teams and communities we know and love. What began as a one-person operation with play-by-play on radio has grown into a 5 or 6-person production. Keeping pace with the latest technology, equipment, and personnel is not only demanding, but costly. If you'd like to support this broadcast as a sponsor or a donor in any way, please log on RadioPlusInfo.com.